I'm Emily Mashak, and you are listening to Tuned Into NoCo, Town Square Media's public affairs show that lets you know what matters in NoCo. I'm talking today with Mindy McCloughan, the president and CEO of the Loveland Chamber of Commerce, to talk about COVID-19. So thank you, Mindy, for being here today.
Well, thank you, Emily, for having me. Loveland, like most other communities around, we're very resilient and stand ready to bounce back and work together. I'm very proud of our community and the teams and the businesses and our city services where the collaboration that's happened is just unfathomable. It's just wonderful.
That's great to hear. How specifically is the city tackling COVID? What measures are they taking to protect everyone?
You know, the city has implemented the same stay-at-home orders that the county mandated, as well as the state. State obviously trumped anything locally. However, I learned this morning that the state or the county had changed the wording on their issue and to mirror that of the state. So it's basically the same thing. And the city has shut down some services, but most of their teams are working virtually from home. I do know we had a member call this morning, and anyone who wants to hear that call, we recorded it. It's on our website at loveland.org. You can hear the updates. We got an update from Kevin Unger from UC Health, as well as Steve Adams, the city manager of Loveland. We also had Lori Hodges from Larimer County, the emergency operations manager. We also had Kat Rico from our Loveland Business Development Center on there, as well as Sandra Solon, our lobbyist for Northern Colorado Legislative Alliance, at which time each one gave an in-depth report on what's happening in real time. So anyone that wants to go to that site and hear that recorded call, it's on the homepage at loveland.org.
Can you just clarify exactly what the stay-at-home order means? I know a lot of people have been confused as to how it's different than what we were doing before.
Yeah, it's a little gray area, too. Basically, they only want businesses open that are those listed as essential businesses. That, too, could be considered somewhat gray, but those essential businesses, there's on the state site, colorado.gov. We also have it on our website, too, the do's and don'ts and what they're actually considering to be essential businesses. So I would encourage anyone to go there and research if they qualify as an essential business. But they're just asking everyone mainly to adhere to the CDC and stay home so that we can stop or at least slow down this pandemic and put safety first and then focus on business afterwards.
Mm-hmm. What do you recommend for safety precautions? I know we've been hearing a lot from the CDC, but what would you recommend personally from your position?
Well, everyone please adhere to what they're asking you. One, stay home, stay within 6 feet if you have to be out within 6 feet of other persons, and keep that within under 10 minutes of any activity you need to do. So if you have to get in and out of those businesses and be around people, keep that to under 10 minutes and adhere to that 6-foot rule. And then just, basic hand washing, cleanliness, don't touch your face, cover your mouth if you have to sneeze or cough, and just really inform yourself on the data that's out there, especially on the social side, because there's a lot associated with the stress and anxiety that people are experiencing as a result of this. So we just need to be wise about what we do and how we do it.
Mm-hmm. Going along with that, what would you say to people who are feeling especially stressed and anxious right now?
One, keep in mind that, you're not alone. We're all in this together, and clearly we're stronger together than we are individually. Your chamber stands ready to help you, whether it's a business or other need. We encourage people to stay connected through Zoom, Facebook, other social media outlets where you can actually communicate with other people. Don't be afraid to reach out to those around you and express your feelings and concerns. Just because, one, it's a little bit more helpful to know that we're not in this alone and that there are plenty of people that are here to help you if need be.
That's great. Can you tell me a little bit more about how Loveland is working to support local businesses during this time?
Absolutely. So the Chamber has set up a support Facebook page, or business support, where businesses can go on and get real-time information and upload their information if they're open for business, if they're not, what's happening there. Our Loveland Business Development Center that's run through the Chamber, we also have a website at lovelandbusiness.com, and that gives you all the resources that are available from the SBA on those loans that are available. We are actually monitoring very closely everything that's happening state and federal, and we're in communication sometimes 4 and 5 hours a day on conference calls with all the regional leaders, disseminating information and who's got what and where it's going and how to get the best out to the public, best information and most reliable information. Understanding that we're telling those to go to the SBA site to be able to apply for those business loans, to be patient because the pipelines are getting full, the websites have crashed at times, and they're trying to simplify the process as quickly as possible. We were on a conference call yesterday with Senator Gardner before the relief package was approved, and we just got the summary of that just a little bit ago on the CARES Act Relief Fund and what that means. So we're trying to disseminate that information but get it boiled down into its simplest form and what it actually means for each community. You can also find that on our homepage at loveland.org as well. We also send out a daily communications email, e-blast of what's happening and current information. We're also going to be doing more of those group calls that we had this morning, as well as Zoom meetings for the social piece, so that if nothing else, we can actually get our eyes on each other and talk to one another and share issues and concerns, thoughts, and ideas on how we can best work together to get through this crisis.
That's great. Thank you for working so hard to get all of this information accessible to the public.
Yeah, you're welcome. As I said earlier when we started, this is a very resilient community. They're passionate, and everyone's committed to service to others before self, because we clearly know we can work better together than individually.
Definitely. I know this is an uncertain time for everyone, but at this moment, can you give us even just a short glimpse into what the future will look like for Loveland?
If we had a crystal ball, it would be a lot easier. We don't. It's really hard to predict. We're compiling data now with the city and the universities to help compile get some of that future forecast out based off of statistics and what's happening in the current data and how things are affecting the economy. I don't, other than to know that we've been through very difficult times before, i.e. the flood. Granted, that was centralized to here, and we had funding sent in from the rest of the world to help us, and in this case, the whole world's in the same shape we are. We will come out of this with probably a little different view on the way we do business, but I am confident that we will come out of it resilient and a stronger economy than what we were when we went into it. It may just take a little bit longer to turn that ship and come back, but I'm confident we'll get there.
That's great to hear. Well, thank you again, Mindy, for talking to me. What else would you like the public to know?
Well, just know that here in Loveland, and I can speak for my peers in Greeley, Fort Collins, Estes, Windsor, Berthoud, all of those around, we're all on these calls together, and we're purposed to see this state and to manage to get this business community through this crisis. And we just continue to pray without ceasing that God continue to heal our land.
Definitely. Well, thank you again, Mindy. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you for having me. Have a great day.
Again, that was Mindy McCloughan, the president and CEO of the Loveland Chamber of Commerce. If you would like more information on how the Chamber is handling COVID-19, visit loveland.org.